All right, so we're going to begin with this video first. And then when she's done, we're going to dive deeper into it.
She wants you. Trust me, she will do everything in her power to see you and be with you. She'll be available for dates. She'll text you. She'll call you. She'll be the one driving the relationship forward. If she's not doing these things, she's just not that into you.
All right, so now let's dive deeper into it. Let's begin.
It's very hard to read people. People are always trying to hide how they really feel about you. But one of the things that people just cannot hide is that when somebody actually likes you, they become extremely predictable. And when somebody is either one, playing manipulation games, or two, where they don't like you, they become unpredictable, right? And today we're going to be talking about why that is and how you can use this fact to make your dating life much easier with the opposite sex. Simply because there's nothing more frustrating when dating someone and you don't know whether or not they're actually going to go on the date. You don't know whether or not they're actually going to disappear on the night of the meetup, and that person is going to make you look bad in front of your friends, right? And what tends to happen is that whenever they become unpredictable, what we try to do, we try to understand them, right? We see the chaos and we try to pinpoint why they're acting the way they're acting. Because with their words, they're sending you in another direction. I like you. I appreciate you. I want to see you again. But then you notice that you can't really predict them. You don't really know whether or not they're actually going to meet on the first date. I mean, on the second or third date. You don't really know whether or not they're actually going to go on vacation with you. You don't really know whether or not you're actually going to see them this week. And that tends to have an effect on you, right? It's like a child, even children. Back in our childhood days, if your parents were predictable, you were able to have a more comfortable relationship with them. You knew how they were going to react, so it allowed you to grow and to focus on yourself, right? But when parents are not predictable to their kids, they don't know how the parents are going to react to negative events. They don't know how their parents are going to react when something bad happens. They don't know if whether or not they're going to show love or whether or not they're going to push them away. So those children grow up being anxious because they cannot predict their parents. You know, when you cannot predict something, it really does. In the beginning, it's fine, but over the long term, whenever you stay with people who you can't predict and their unpredictability causes stress, it tends to make it harder for you to regulate your emotions. It tends to make it harder for you to feel at ease with yourself. Because whenever we are in front of something that's unpredictable, the brain cannot calm down. It can't calm down. It's trying to add up the missing pieces, but it cannot find the missing pieces. So it stays in a perpetual state of tension, continually trying to predict this person and completely failing at it. This tends to lower your self-esteem. In order to build self-esteem, you need consistent positive feedback from people, at least consistent. But whenever you get unpredictable feedback from people, it really does hurt how you see yourself. It really does hurt how others see you, because the anxiety in your face, at the face of someone who's unpredictable, creates emotions in you that you cannot control. You want them to come on the date today, and you don't, and you're in anxiety. You're like, you're sending those confirmation text messages. And it kind of ruins your day. You don't know how to think. It's kind of like it's almost like they're dividing and conquering you from within. And that tends to break you up inside. And what will happen is that your reactions to them following through on your actions will become exaggerated, because you don't know. You know, whenever you don't know somebody's reaction, you're in a state of waiting, and that waiting is like this. Are they gonna react? Are they gonna react? And then they react positive, and you react positively. But now, because you didn't expect a positive reaction, your reaction to them is more exaggerated. So that means you respond faster. Your face is more animated, out of proportion, to be honest with you. They can see it in your eyes. You're giving them a freaking psycho look that you like them. And your nonverbal cues, as much as you try to hide it, your nonverbal cues will betray you. Why? Because whenever you could predict a reaction, your face and your voice doesn't react to surprise. So it's more stable. Hey, how are you? But when you didn't know they're actually going to be there, it's more like, hey person that I'm creeping the fuck out, hey. You know, and that is a burden on people, because your overly excitement also communicates to them that if this doesn't work out, you might need to go to therapy. And I'll be honest with you, that is a burden that a lot of people who are in one-sided relationship don't like. The burden of having to break up with you, the burden of having to pull away, the burden of having to leave you might be too much, and that could discourage them from seeking anything serious with you, because they know the ending is going to be a complete freaking nuclear explosion. Nobody wants to deal with that. Nobody wants to deal with that kind of stuff. I want to be able, for example, I had a girl who, one of the girls that I really liked, right? Her name was Gaia, because I really like her name. That's a beautiful name. And the first time the first time we hooked up, I told her she can't stay over, right? Because I just didn't want to. And I remember, I knew she liked me. I thought she liked me a lot. But her reaction was so nonchalant. She was like, okay, no problem. It was so nonchalant. I'm like, bitch, care. What the fuck? Like, shed a little tear. God, you know? But her reaction to that was so relaxed that it made me feel comfortable to cancel. For example, I don't really cancel on people, but I know that my cancellation is not going to ruin her day, right? And that allows you to comfortably get to know the person, right? Now, what also tends to happen when the person is unpredictable is that when they act stable in relationship, you can actually start to depend on them. You know, when somebody's unpredictable, a part of you wants to depend on them, and maybe you are desperate to depend on someone because it's kind of healthy, but because they don't show you predictability, you can't really be yourself around them. You can't really show them that emotional mess that you really are, and actually allow them to experience you without them getting turned off. And that creates a relationship where you have to put up a front, and over time that front that you're putting up has cracks in it, and that crack makes you feel resentful. That crack makes you feel tired of having to act. I mean, eventually you're gonna show them your neediness, and you know, there's a reason why you felt afraid to show them your neediness. It's because you knew they weren't gonna like you. There's a part of you that knows this person is not for you, right? But you want this to work out under any circumstances, that you sabotage your self-esteem just to have an outward experience of that validation, while exchanging your internal validation of yourself, right? So somebody who really likes you and they're predictable, you'll notice that you could be needy around them. You could look at them in the eye. You could tell them that I miss you. But when someone is unpredictable, you sort of hesitate, because their unpredictability causes you to walk on eggshells. And habitually, a lot of people are comfortable with these types of relationships. They see it as a challenge. You know, they're showing you some attention, and so you feel like the more you do, the more you can make them predictable. Let me tell you something. There's a reason why they're unpredictable. It's because the emotions they feel are not intense enough for them to consistently want to see you. It's just that simple, right? I always say a crackhead is the most predictable person on the planet. Why? Because they're addicted to crack, right? The more addictive the drug is, the more predictable they are, right? You could sling rocks at a crackhead, like real rocks, and they'll still do crack no matter what, right? And so when somebody's in love, when somebody likes you, and you'll notice, right? It's a compulsion. A part of you has no control, and if you do have some control, good for you. But generally speaking, when you like someone, you lose control. You know what to do, but because you like them so much, the intensity of doing the opposite is so great that you end up breaking a lot of the rules that I teach. The difference is that if somebody really likes you, they're going to be willing to deal with your mess up. They're going to be willing to deal with your flaws a lot more. When somebody likes you and you act needy, they're more forgiving of your needy, creepy behavior. When somebody doesn't like you and you're needy, they tend to have a lower threshold for your needy behavior, right? And so this is why applying my strategies, it can be so hard because of the compulsion to do the opposite. Like, it really is, right? But generally speaking, man, like anytime I'm with someone and I can't predict them, that's a red flag. That is a red flag. I don't know whether or not I'm actually going to see you this week. That's a red flag. And it's not the fact that you're busy. It's just the fact that you don't like me enough to go out of your way, even though it hurts you. Unpredictable partners have a strong attachment to you, right? Because you know that they're willing to leave their jobs for you. They're willing to stop doing something they really like for you. They're willing to pick up the phone in the middle of the night for you because you know they're addicted to you. It's just how that works, right? And a lot of people just stay in these types of relationships where they don't really trust the person where they don't really trust whether or not the person is actually going to be there next week. You know, they don't really trust whether or not this person is actually going to be there for them whenever they need an emotional support, right? They can sense that they're a burden to them. And so don't see unpredictability as a puzzle to understand. See unpredictability as a sign that they don't like you that much. Motherfucker, you better like me enough for you to be predictable. It's just that simple. Like I've been in those situations. And the problem with this is that a lot of you guys might be in these situations, but you guys might be telling yourself you might be selectively remembering the positive things they said or the promise of predictability, and your mind goes back to those moments. And it makes you forget what your eyes what your eyes actually see, because that's confirmation bias. You want them to like you so badly that you're willing to forget all the BS that they did to you and just focus on the few moments of predictability. Let me tell you something. There's a reason why you feel that way. There's a reason why you can't trust them. It's because you can't. You know, you deserve better. You deserve somebody who is actually gonna see you and follow through on it. That is actually gonna say, I'm gonna do this, and they're actually gonna do it. Who actually remembers your birthday? Who actually remembers the special days? You can't settle for anything less than that, because what that says is, it says everything about your self-esteem, everything. And you know, people know when they're taking advantage of you. They kind of know. Most people have a conscience, so they stop over time, but they kind of know, you know. And you can't reward unpredictable behavior with predictable behavior on your part. You're just lowering your value over time. You know what I'm saying? That's how you guys have to do it, man. Me, when I date women, man, if you're not predictable, I'm not going out with you. You're too unpredictable, girl. And if you come back to me after leaving me on Reddit and say, hey, I'm sorry, my phone died, I'm like, look, love, I don't mind you, but I feel like a lot of things happen to you when it comes to me, and this might be a sign of the universe that we shouldn't be talking, because always something happens. Your grandma fell from the stairs last week. You know, she choked on the pork chop the next week after that. You know, the next week your phone dropped. I mean, what type of Friday the 13th type of luck do you have? Like, is that gonna happen to me when I'm with you? Like, nah, absolutely not. I'm not ready for that type of headache, people. Only date predictable people. And how do you know? Because you could tell, you could predict them. Right?
Now, if you guys enjoy this type of content, check out my course, Dark Game, or like I like to call it now, the Complete Man. It's a course that I created for guys who have no idea how to get women in their lives. As you guys can see, I have attracted a life that brings women into my life. I do a lot of social events, art events, meditation events, and I don't do that to get women. But what I notice is that it gets women into your life, right? And in this course, I teach you guys how to do this. I teach you. So that means even if you're friend zone, if you're the type of person that lacks assertiveness, if you were raised by a single mom and you didn't know how to get women, well, this is the course for you. It teaches you how to overcome approach anxiety, how to take action. Because a lot of the times you watch these videos and you don't know how to take action, how to break patterns, how to build social circle, a pickup artistry course, right? Understanding your dark side, a bunch of things that helps a guy improve their dating life, right? Where we talk about how to find your purpose, female nature, the mindset game, the outer game, right? How to get her number, how to damage control, how to create competition, first date using vulnerability, online games, social circle game, how to get threesomes. I mean, the whole shebang bang, right? And the beauty about this course is that there's a 30-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, you could just let me know and get a refund. There's the basic course, which is $99, and then there is the one with the bonuses, like that I just read to you. So just look through the sales letter, and there's actually some free clips that you guys can watch, right? I think so, right? No, there isn't, but yeah, just look at it. Let me know if you what you guys think of it. You know, you just give it a try. If you don't like it, I will give you your money back. I've always given people refunds. So yeah, man. Hopefully, I can see you guys inside, and let's get back to the video.